This is your one and only 𝐸𝐸_81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and today I'm going to show you how to get the Night Maiden's Mist and the Night Shard spells in Elden Ring. Let's get to it. So the first place we need to go is over here to this shack right here. 𝐴𝐸𝐸, whatever his name is, shack. That's where we want to head to. There's two grace points you can go from. You can go from this one and go through this way, or you can go through this one and come around this way. I'm at this one right here. This one's right next to the boss that we're gonna have to fight, and he is right in this mess here. So we're just gonna start with this one. So all you gotta do is just run through the swamp here. Watch out for the explosions. Make sure you stay on your horse. And we are just going to run right up the way here. There's a beetle there if you need to kill it, but you're coming from a gray spot, so you probably don't need to kill it, but you can kill it. And then we are going to head right up to the shack. Now there's a dog here that's going to try to eat you. So you want to make sure you take that dog out. You can get right here and you should be fine. You should be far enough away from it not to trigger it. And what we're going to do is hopefully be able to hit it from here. There we go. So depending on what level you are, the dog may be difficult for you, may be easy for you. It depends on how much damage you do. I do a lot of damage because I'm completely over leveled. All right, so then you're going to come in here and you are just going to talk to this guy and just exhaust his dialogue. Once you've exhausted his dialogue, we're just going to head right back over to where we were. And we are going to get ready to fight this boss. This boss isn't too hard to fight. He does summon some skeletons that will shoot at you, but for the most part, he's relatively easy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop up here and we are going to target him, and we're just going to unload a couple of rounds on him here. And you can see that he will summon some archers. So what we're going to do now is just pop back down the side. Now he'll come over here and strike you through the wall there, so get a little bit away from the side. And just use whatever you have that has a good amount of range on it. So you can see there he is right there. And we just basically want to dodge him. Now you can kite him out and kind of fight him over here, but it's a little iffy with all these like explosions everywhere, because if you get caught in them, it's pretty much insta-death. So he comes out over this way over here at the site of grace. So you can kind of fight him in this area around here and use the rock sling if you want. He's not too bad. Just keep your distance from him. He's relatively slow. And there you go. We defeated him, and it should give us the item that we need. So you get a weapon and you get that the gold needle. Now what we're going to do is we're going to head back over to the little shack area over here. And provided you didn't die, the dog won't be here. So that all you have to do is just run back up here and talk to him. You're going to give him the needle. He's going to give you that. Continue to talk to him. Okay, once you've exhausted his dialogue and you're getting a repeat of everything, he's going to basically tell you he needs a minute. All you have to do is just run back to a site of grace. So we're just going to use this one. I like this one a little bit better because you get a better view of the dog and you can hit him a little bit easier. It's a little bit further away, but at a much better angle to come into that area there. Just be careful of that ogre guy up there because he'll throw stuff at you down here on the ground. So just don't stop moving and you should be fine. So now we can come in at the dog from right here, and we got a nice clear path where our boulders won't hit anything. And there we go. Dog is dead. Now all we have to do is go up here and talk to this guy again. He's gonna have repaired the needle and give it back to you. There you go. Now you got it back. So now what we need to do is head to this church right here. So if you've already been up here, you should have a waypoint. I have not been here yet on this save file, so I'm just going to run up there. If you have this hideout location here, it's a pretty easy run because you can pretty much just run straight to it. So I just run past all these guys here and we can run right down to the church. It is right there directly in front of me. Just ignore all of the guys that are around the outside. Run straight to the grace point in here if you haven't got it already. If any of them aggro on you, just quickly hit the grace point and set at it, and it will respawn them at their spots. There is also one of the tiers here that you can pick up as well, but the person that we're after is this lady right here. So now we're just gonna, talk to this person, and then we're gonna give her the gold needle. Then for me, my screen just went blank. Like, she asked you to avert your eyes and my screen just goes blank. I don't know if a video's supposed to play. I don't know if that's supposed to be me closing my eyes or what, but anyway, that's what happens. That happens, and talk to her, make sure you've exhausted all dialogue per the usual. We have, and now what we're going to do is just warp back to this spot here and run back up to the shack. Once again, that dog is going to be back, so we need to make sure we take care of the dog. The dog is annoying and it's going to be here every time, but hopefully you should only need to visit this guy one more time. So now we're going to go back to this guy and we're going to talk to him. And now he has the study sorcery option. We click that and we can buy the Night Shard and the Night Maiden's Mist. So we are just going to buy both of those. Now it's time for everybody's favorite part where we break down and talk about the spells. So the Night Shard is going to cost you 7 mana to cast. From what I can tell, it's very similar to the Swift Glintstone Shard. I think it just does a different type of damage. It also seems to get through shields a little bit better, although I need to test that a little bit more thoroughly, so take that with a grain of salt. This here, though, is what you're really after, because this thing is absolutely nuts. It puts a damage over time mist on the ground that stays there for a considerably long time. But what's interesting about it is if you have a boss or you're fighting some big guy or something that's hard to take down, and it's not like one of those ones where it's crazy fast and always trying to be in your face, it is possible to just run around the outside of this area that you put down, because unlike most other spells, this spell damages you too. But if you stay out of it and you run around the target, you can keep the target running around in the center of this, and they don't try to get out, and they just take a bunch of damage and eventually die. So let's take a look at these spells real quick. We're gonna run out here to our normal testing area. First off, we'll do the Night Shard. So we'll get our initial hit out of the way here. It's very fast, as you see. So we're doing 192. Now, if we swap over to the Swift Glintstone, you can see we're doing 199 with that. And we do our normal Glintstone, we're doing 287. So it does a lot less damage, but it's very, very, very fast compared to the others. I mean, it's just pretty fast. It seems faster to me than the others. We'd need a side-by-side comparison, but that's not what we're after. Once again, it's meh. You're better off just using the Glintstone Shard in most cases. But this here, the Night Maiden's Mist, is absolutely ridiculous. Look at that damage tick. Look at it. It's freaking crazy. We're just gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go and see what damage it does to this guy by the time it's done. And one of them did it with 1,560 damage. So of course you need to get the target to stay in it, but if you are up out of the target's area, a lot of the times these guys are half clueless, and you can lob it not quite as far as you can some of the other spells, like for example, the Roiling Magma. And if you want to see how to get this one, I have a video showing how to do it. I will link that down in the description, but you can see this one goes, well, pretty far. I think we can get it just a little bit further. Yeah, a little bit further. That's a pretty good distance there. But if we take this one and toss it, unlike the Roiling Magma where it disappears if it doesn't hit the ground in time, this will just make the mist if it does not hit the ground in time, and the mist will be up in the air. So you can see there it hit and splash, and it just went up in the air instead. So you can get this one pretty far by lobbing it, but you can see it's pretty heavy when it comes to lobbing it. But you can also rain down fire on a bunch of guys like we're doing now and just completely wipe them out. or like I said, in some situations, you can get a boss to stay in the middle of this, and you can see it does pretty good damage. And here's an example of me using this spell on a dragon. Like I said, if it's something large and slow moving and you can get it just to kind of wander into the mist and hang out in there, works insanely well and saves you from having to get close to said boss. Which from what I've noticed so far in this game, if they move slow, they will one-shot you. So the more you can avoid getting hit, the better. And it does charge, so that's also something to keep in mind. You can charge it for more effect. So yeah, it takes a little bit of finesse to get it, but it is possible to get bosses to run back and forth through it. But once again, it can damage you if you get in it, and it does a lot of damage really fast. So, you know, try to stay out of it. It's interesting that this one actually damages you when none of the other spells that I've come across damage you. I mean, we can stand right in the roiling magma even when it explodes. I can stand on top of it and I take no damage, but for some reason that mist damages you. But as far as damage over time spells go for large areas, that one is the best one I've found so far. Hopefully you found this video helpful and informational. If you did, consider hitting the subscribe button, notification bell, all that good stuff, so you can be notified when I upload other videos. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to my supporters on Patreon for making this episode possible. Y'all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to join my Elite Crew Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.